I am here with Khalil Herbert, a running back out of Virginia Tech, a 2021 NFL draft prospect. Thank you so much for being here with me today.
Thank you for having me.
Of course. And, as I said before, only 2 weeks until the draft. Can you talk about the emotions that have happened over this past month, preparing for this? And what have you been doing physically and mentally to get prepared for the end of April?
Yeah, it's been a crazy month, but, I've just been enjoying the process. Talking with my friends, kind of just, this is something we've always dreamed about. So just imagining what it's going to feel like, to hear my name called. But, I've still been working out, talking to coaches. So this month's just really been staying in shape, staying fit and, getting connections with these coaches and these teams.
And you talk about it's something you've always dreamed about, to be on the stage, to have this moment. Can you go into your background a little bit, when you started playing football and just your journey to get where you are now?
Yeah, I started playing when I was 5. Started playing tackle when I was 5. Down here in South Florida, you start real young. So started playing when I was 5, played all the way up, to high school. Went to Kansas, went to VT. But it's been some, since I was younger that I always thought I could do. And now, getting the opportunity to do it. So it's exciting.
And you went to Kansas, as you said before, also Virginia Tech. Can you talk about that process? What was the mindset, going to Virginia Tech, really ending up there? And mentally, it's a tough situation when you have to transfer like that. Can you just take us through that story?
Yeah, transferring, it was tough. I graduated that year, so I had to take 7 classes just to graduate that semester. So that was tough, but, it all worked out for the best, and then ended up at VT. But once I got to VT, my mindset really was just getting in a relationship with the guys, especially the O-line, learning my plays, and then just establishing, why I'm there. Really just, competing in everything I'm doing. But, the real reason I went there, they went to 27 straight bowl games. So I was trying to get a bowl ring in my last year of college.
You talk about 7 classes. I mean, I'm in school now, and I know 7 classes without being an athlete is just crazy. How did you manage that?
Well, I don't even know. It was crazy. And the crazy thing was 5 of those classes were 8-week courses, so they're really fast paced. But really just I had a lot of free time since I wasn't playing football that rest of the semester. So just finding ways to get work done, really. But it was a tough semester.
Yeah, I mean, that just shows your determination. Obviously, you wanted to get all that done so you could play football. And I mean, that process where it's kind of speeded up to get it done, I can't even imagine how tough that must have been. Props to you for doing that, because I don't know if I could. But you talked about your journey a little bit, your story, but I really want to dive deep here. Who is Khalil Herbert, and what do you want people to know about you going to this draft that might not know already?
Khalil Herbert is a very energetic, humble hardworking human being. He loves what he does, and he does it with 110% effort. I'd want people to know that, wherever I go, I'm going to give it my all, and they're going to get, all out of me. So.
And you talk about loving this game. You said you've played since you were 5, but did your parents play? Where does that love come from initially?
I'd say my parents didn't play. They're both from the islands. So,
oh, wow.
I'd say my brother, he started playing first, my older brother, and then really just followed in his footsteps. When I was younger, I always wanted to be like him. So started playing after him, and, eventually got to where I am.
That's so awesome. You say your family is from the islands as well, your parents. So how has it been like, them seeing you on this big level? I'm sure, they're excited for you. Your brother too, who has also played football. What is that like, just going back home, talking to them and trying to explain, this is a chance for you to really live out your dream?
Yeah. They understand it. My whole life, they've been very supportive of me when I'm playing sports. So they understand. They're just excited, anxious, and proud, and ready to see where I go. But they're just happy that everything worked out the way it worked out for me, and that I'm getting to live out my dreams.
Yeah, it's so awesome. I can't even imagine that feeling, and I'm sure you can't even imagine it. It's going to hit you all at once, most likely, to hear your name called on the board. But I'm sure you watch a lot of NFL. So can you talk about your favorite player at your position, or just in the NFL in general? And do you model your game after anybody in the league?
Yeah, my favorite player growing up, to this day is LaDainian Thomason, kind of where I wear 21. Him and Tiki Barber are two guys that I kind of watched growing up a lot, and guys that I wanted to be like in the NFL. So those are, I'd say, who are the ones that I kind of model my game after.
And that's awesome. It's really cool to hear that, you know, you kind of wear that number 21 just off a player that you loved watching growing up.
Yeah. Definitely, you know, trying to wear it with pride and, you know, rock the same kind of swag he did. So.
Yeah, of course. Now, what separates you from the other running backs that are going to be 2021 NFL draft prospects?
I'd say my vision and my big playability, being able to take, you know, 15, 20-yard runs and make them 50, 60-yard runs and put the ball in the end zone.
And I've seen, you know, a lot of your tape looking at your games previously, and just like you said, able to break tackles, the way you're able to get out of that. You know, you think you're going 10 yards and then all of a sudden you're going 30 yards. I mean, it's pretty impressive, and it'll be exciting to see what you can do and how you can carry that on to the bigger level. I want to talk about Pro Day a little bit. You know, the Combine this year scaled back due to COVID. So Pro Day, I'm sure, was a little bit more pressure considering that's what the scouts are really only getting. Of course, they're getting your tape, but those numbers are specifically coming from Pro Day. Can you talk about your preparation for that day, the nerves going into it, and how did it feel?
It felt really good. I had set certain numbers I wanted to hit when I first started training in January. So going in, my mindset was to, you know, either get these numbers or do more than what I wanted to do. But down here training, you know, I had a great group of guys training with me and a great staff that put together a great plan for us to attack Pro Day. So just going in there with the attack mindset that I'm getting everything I set my mind to or more. And, you know, I was able to do that. So I was really happy with what I did on Pro Day.
That's awesome. And your numbers showed it very well. Of course, the scouts looking at that, I saw a lot of them. So congratulations on a really good Pro Day.
Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. And you talk about the transfer process from Kansas to Virginia Tech, but has there ever been a moment in your collegiate career, your high school career, or even your younger playing days where you had an injury or mentally didn't know if you could break through, and how did you get through that?
Not really. I broke my foot when I was like in 6th grade. I broke my wrist in 10th grade, but I still played. I just played with a club on my hand, but I never had anything where I've had to really like battle back.
Yeah, that's awesome though. I mean, knock on wood, you know, you're going into the NFL healthy, and not a lot of guys can say that. Just shows, you know, how much you take care of your body and doing all the right things so that you can be healthy and go out there to play on that field. Exactly. Now I'm going to get into some of the fun questions here. So you go to Virginia Tech, but you said you're from South Florida. So what was your favorite team growing up?
My favorite team growing up, like college?
College and NFL, yeah.
I didn't really have NFL, but college, my favorite team growing up was Ohio State.
Really? That's really interesting. Yeah, we're from around like the New Jersey, Philadelphia area, so Penn State's big here. So definitely the rivalry. But you went to Virginia Tech. So when somebody goes onto your campus, what is one place that they absolutely have to visit?
One place. Well, besides the stadium, I'd say the battlefield. It's like all they do this drill field actually. But they do like the guys and the cadets, they go out there like 4 a.m. And they're on the drill field bright and early. But that's like probably the most scenic place on campus. You know, there's a bridge that looks onto it, and it's really nice, especially in the fall when the leaves are changing colors.
Yeah, that sounds absolutely fantastic. Definitely people, when this goes out and people are watching it, they definitely gotta take a journey over there as well, just to look at that. But you've been playing football for a while. So do you have any game day rituals, a certain song you listen to, a food you eat, anything that you have that you do before every game?
I used to. I have a playlist that I have one song that I've always listened to since I'd say high school that I still have on there. And I kind of just add that same song to the playlist when I redo it. But other than that, I don't have any rituals anymore.
What's an artist that just like gets you hyped and ready to play a game?
I say Lil Baby. Meek Mill. Those are two I always listen to on games.
Meek Mill, the Philly legend. We know him very well over here. Whenever you get picked, they got to play a Meek Mill song. It just fits right in perfectly.
Yeah, definitely.
That would be awesome. But if there was one Gatorade color or flavor that you could drink for the rest of your life, only one, what would it be?
The Glacier Freeze, the light blue one. That's my favorite one.
Yeah, that's been a popular answer so far. We definitely got a bunch of Glacier Freeze, the light blue. People also said clear earlier in the previous interviews, but Glacier Freeze is my favorite too.
I like that.
Yeah, that's awesome.
That and lemon lime.
Really? The lemon lime one?
Yeah, I like the yellow.
Yeah, that's one that is not as popular of an answer, but I mean, I've never had it, so I don't know, but I'm sure it's, yeah,
Never?
I know. Never. I always stick to like my favorites, so I just always go for Glacier Freeze. The orange sometimes too,
yeah.
Even though I'm sure orange is not that popular with everybody, but
I hear you.
so, of course, everybody's dream, the reason that you're doing this right now, that you're a prospect, is to hear your name called on draft night. Are you going to the draft, or are you going to stay home and kind of spend it with your family? What is your plan? And how are you going to feel when that happens? I'm sure you can't plan it, but do you have any idea of what your reaction might be?
Well, hopefully I don't cry. But I'm gonna be around here. I'm gonna be in South Florida with my family and friends. Just small get together and have everybody come over and watch. So
that's fantastic. And I'm sure, like you said, the support system that you're going to have is going to be great. And it's okay to cry, because a lot of the times those are the best stories. I mean, every time, when I'm watching the drafts or when they're covering and everything, when you see that, it's like the raw emotion, because your dream just come true and it's just getting started. So,
yeah.
We'll
see. I don't know how I'm going to react.
Yeah. I mean, it's such a hard, I ask this question a lot, but like, it's so hard to answer because you'd really don't know. It's like a shock.
Yeah. Exactly.
And then sometimes it doesn't register until like days after and things like that. When you were younger, was there ever a team that you were like, this is the NFL team that I want to play for, that I want to be drafted by?
Not really. I watched NFL when I was younger, but I was really big on college. So it was more like, this is the college I want to go to. But there's guys I'd watch that I wanted to be like, I'd say.
Yeah, that's definitely awesome. Well, we're really excited for you. We're excited to see where your journey takes you.
Thank you for having me on here today.